Hello fashion lovers, welcome back to my channel. So guys, it is this gown by Total Niger Women, all right, one of her August collections. Okay, so that is what we'll be making in this video. This is a fitted long pencil gown. For the upper part of this gown, they use the Queen Anne neckline. The bustier they use is a princess that bustier, all right. And for the sleeve, our normal puff sleeve. Okay, so that is what we'll be cutting in this videos. If it is what you're interested in, please like the video, give this video a thumbs up, and be a subscriber. If you have not subscribed, subscribe. All right, so this is the calculation I'm working with. Shoulder 16 divided by 2, bust 40 divided by 4, waist 34 divided by 4, hip 44 divided by 4. Now I think where the concentration should be is on the waist. If you watch my waist, I added plus 5, and on the hip I did plus 3, on the bust I did plus 3. The waist is where the most intake is, especially because it's this princess that bustier. So that is why I went for 5. Please, if you're making yours, add 5. Okay, add enough allowance to the waist in order not to have shortage of fabric, or when shaping it in, you were not able to shape the person's size. Okay, so for my half length is 17, I went for 1.5, and my bust point is 10. Nipple to nipple divided by 2, I added half, and my shoulder to under bust, it is very necessary. Shoulder to under bust, if you're dealing with somebody that is busty, please, when you measure it, add 1 inches extra. Okay, so it fits perfectly. So this is my pattern paper. I folded, and I folded using the highest measurement. You already know how we do it. We use the highest measurement to fold. So I use the highest measurement to fold, which is about 14.5 or thereabout, but I folded 15 in total. Okay, so once you've done that, you know how I start. We are starting with the shoulder. Okay, so that is the shoulder I just marked right now. The my shoulder is 8. Okay, after marking the shoulder, you start with the other measurement, like the armhole depth, like the bust point, the underbust, shoulder to underbust, the waist or the half length. You mark all these parts before you start on the measurement. So right here I marked my bust point, right here is my underbust, and the next is my half length. This dress has cuts, like there is a cut on it, so it's a cut to get the waist is half length plus normal skirts. All right, so I'm stopping at the half length now. Because of the cut is what I added 1.5 inches to my half length. All right, so having marked out all the necessary lines, this is my shoulder, my bust, my BP, which is the bust point, and this is my under bust, and this is my waist. All right, now having done this, the next thing I'll do is on the B, I'll still mark my shoulder, which is 8. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to cover my armhole. So if I mark my 8, I'll connect it back to the same shoulder, so I will be able to mark my armhole properly. Okay, now for the marking of the armhole, we already know when you're dealing with the front armhole, it goes in by half inches, but in this case, because it's a bustier, I will not be doing that. So on the B, I marked my bust point, all right, which is 10 plus 3 inches. On the waist, I have 8.5, all right. So on the waist is 8.5, all right. Remember, it's 5 inches, so I added the 5 inches. Now when you add such and you see that your waist is maybe it's bigger than the bust, there's every possibility it can be bigger than the bust. Do not worry, after the padding it will still snatch back. All right, so this is it. Now the next is for me to cover my armhole before we proceed with the that part of it. I'll be using my French cuff to curve, but in this case, I'll not be curving it in. You can see the front, when you're covering your front armhole, it goes in, but this case it will not be going in because of the kind of darts, all right, I am working with. This is it. So the next thing is for us to start marking our darts. Okay, so you already know my nipple to nipple. What is my nipple to nipple? It is 8 divided by 2, which gives us 4 plus half inches. So what I'm marking right now is 4.5. Okay, from my nipple to nipple. Now you mark it right at the waist. I equally went to the B and mark it. All right, then I'll use my rule and connect it. Okay, from the waist to the bust, connect it straight down. So after marking it, the next thing is this is the point of connectivity. Here is the point of connectivity. Right, this bust point is where I'll connect from here to the bust. So right at this part, it is 1 inches. Do not make the mistake. Here, my tape is 2 inches. All right, let me write it down. Here is 2, here is 1. That is what you mark. All right, you come down to mark the same thing. The same thing the other side to 2 inches here. All right, now from the nipple to nipple line on both sides is where I'm marking. Connect it straight this way that I'm connecting it. This side 1 inches, the other side is double. So you connect it from the under bust to the bust point. You equally connect it this way. Okay, you see that. Now, this is it. The next thing is for us to use our armhole for our French cuff to connect the armhole part of it. Now, for my armhole, you can do your armhole depth divided by 2, all right, plus 1.5 inches, or you can just mark 5, or you mark 5.5. All right, whichever one, or you can go through the formula of dividing by 2 plus 1.5 inches. So I'm going for 5, all right. Then I'll connect it from here. Watch here. The down part, you must place it perfectly where to connect very well, okay? Now, having connected it, the next thing is my armhole. I'll come from here 1 inches. Why am I doing this? To give my bustier more curve, to make it more curvy. Once you mark that 1 inch, connect it back to the original line. Okay? Connect it back to the original line to give my armhole bustier more curve. That is why I'm doing this extra one. This part will be cut off. Now you place your French cuff this way. You must use this part I'm using to do this particular place. I think this, what I did now, is one of the most important thing for a bustier, a princess dart bustier. It is very important that you curve it. All these parts will be cut off, okay? So this is princess dart bustier, all right? 2 inches the other side, 1 inch the other side, and you curve. Let me zoom it in a little bit. Now the next thing for us to do is on the neck. Before cutting the neckline, like I said earlier, that the neckline is queen and neckline. So for our queen and neckline, you can choose either 4, 4.5. It shouldn't be too wide. So 4 inches is what I'm going for. Now, what of the depth? The depth is matter of choice, but looking at what they are wearing, it is properly covered. So therefore, I'll go for 4 inches and 3 inches. That is total of 7 depth. Total depth is 7. All right. The first one will be 4. The last one will be 3. Okay. So use your rule. This is the final neck depth, which is 7. Then you come where the 4 is. Equally indicate your 4 so you don't make mistake. All right. Now you indicate your 4. Use your rule to connect it. All right. Queen Anne is a kind of square plus curve, the upper part is square first. So once you achieve your square first, okay, the next thing you do is you use your French curve, you place it this way. See how I'm placing it? The next, it ends right at the 7. That is where it ends. This is it. All right. This is where it ends. Then definitely you have to slant your shoulder. Okay. You have to slant your shoulder by 1 inches. Now, this is our princess that bustier. If you have any question about this bustier, please do drop it on the comment section, okay? Now, what next? You cut. But before we cut, there's something I usually do. Let me show you what we do. Here, I go out by 1 inches. Then I'll curve it from this way. Why am I doing this last thing? Because when sewing it, the armhole can shorten. So to avoid it being shortened and to make sure I still have enough, that is why I'm doing that. Okay, so the next thing is for you to cut this way. Good. So guys, if you have any question, drop it on the comment section while I cut. Now this part that I'm about to cut now, do not make mistake. You must cut it this way. Follow that curve. You can see how I'm cutting it. Any day you cut your bustier and it is not this curvy, you mistakenly cut it without curving it, please recut it, cut it again. Like get another pattern paper or fabric, start afresh. If not, you not get a perfect bustier. Okay, start all over. So this is it. All right. We are here to cut the armhole. So I'm placing the two papers, the pattern paper properly so I don't make mistake. Okay, so you see the armhole extension, that is where I'm cutting. Cut the side. So I'm done cutting. What is left is the neck part of it. This is it. So let's cut the neck straight. When cutting this too, you have to be cautious. You have to be very careful to not to make mistake. All right, good. The neck has been cut. This is it. Now this is how it looks. Let's cut the back first before opening it up. Let's cut the back. So this is my back. All right, pattern paper for the back. The back of this dress is definitely high back. Okay, it definitely has high back, and there is zip rather, sorry, there is zip on the back. So the first thing you measure is your zip. Yes, because there is zip, please measure your zip first. 1.5 inches. That is what I'm using. You can use 2 inches if you choose to. It's matter of choice. You can use 2 inches for yours. You can use 3 inches for your zip, but the best is 2 at most. 1.5 if you're not a beginner. You can even use 1 inches. Okay, but me, I'm going for 1.5 inches. All right. So I usually say it whenever you have zip anywhere, front, back, before starting marking, the zip is what you treat. Get your zip allowance first. Okay, so this is my zip allowance. I've gotten my zip allowance. The next thing, I'll start marking all the necessary measurements. Now, I would have just placed my back, okay, and start. Once I place my back, I can just start with once I place my front and trace it out. But the allowance on the front is too much because we are dealing with a bustier at the front, so we cannot work with that. We have to mark it separately. So I'm going for my armhole first. After my armhole, my half length. That is the two basic lines. Every other one, I don't need the ball, the under bust. No, 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 no. This is the back. Okay, there's no bustier at the back. So having indicated our lines, the next thing is for me to curve our armhole. All right, then we'll start marking out the measurements. Now, when marking out the measurement, your waist, your hip, your bust. Now, my bust is 10. After division is 10. At the allowance I added is 2 inches. Now, at your back, the maximum you can work with, because nothing much is on the back, you can work with 3 inches if you choose to, but 2 inches is what I'm working with because nothing much, not no much things to be done at the back apart from just the normal waist dart. So that is why you can go for 3, you can go for 2 inches. Okay, so I'm working with 2 inches. That is what I'm working with. You connect it, then you curve your armhole. After curving your armhole, remember it's just our normal darts. And when curving the back armhole, you don't need to curve it in. This way is very much okay. All right. And for our neck width, remember the front we use 4. So for the back too, we must use 4. Okay. That is it. 4 inches. This way too. Now, what of the neck depth is 2 inches. Your back neck depth is 2, the neck width is 4. Remember, every dress, the neck width remains the same, but the depth differs. So you curve our normal high back, okay, 2 inches. You curve it. That is what I just did. And as well, slant your shoulder by 1 inches, okay. Now, like I said earlier, that what we'll be using for the dart for this back is our normal high dart. So normal waist dart, that is just it. Okay, so this is our back. Nothing much to be done on the back. Let's move back to the front. That is where the details are more. All right. For the finishing of this dress, it is lining. This dress is full lining. The blouse, the upper part of it, the gown, it is full lining and it is padded. Okay, fully padded. There's a video on my channel of how to pad your princess that bustier. All right, I think I'll be attaching it at the end of this video. I'll try and look for it, attach it at the end of this video so you get to see it. Okay, if you have any question, do drop it on the comment section. So this is it. So my back folded into 2. I'll need to open the zip so I don't make mistake. It is good you always open your zip to avoid misplacing it or thinking it's for the front. So I have opened it. So let's move to the front part of this. All right, so like I said, it is padded. Okay, is not, this kind of pad is not the one you use cup. But if you decide to use cup, maybe you want to experiment, it is good, but it is best to use pad, you know, for it. So this is how it looks. And for the straps on the neck, you just attach it, get it and attach it on the neckline. Let me just get it and attach it so you see how it looks. So this is it. You can attach it anyhow. Okay, it can be straight, it can be, now it's tieable on the neck. Yes, you tie it on the neck. It doesn't affect your zip, neither does it affect anything on the back. All right, this is it. So guys, if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up. All right.